All right. And our next bit of Netflix news, we're going to do a little mini review of Eddie Murphy's comeback movie, Dolemite.
Wonderful movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Everybody loved it across the board. Great review. All right, guys.
All right, we're done. Good job.
Well, it's funny because like I've never watched any of the Rudy Ray Moore films because they're not my thing, but I've seen Red Letter Media talk about it a lot.
I've never heard of these movies until this movie.
Yeah, like so Rudy Ray Moore, he was a big blaxploitation kind of filmmaker in the sense that he had this character Dolemite, and he made movies based around this character, and they were very popular, kind of B movies back in the 60s, 70s, I want to say.
Early 70s, I think.
Yeah. And so Netflix made a biopic starring Eddie Murphy as Rudy Ray Moore about him. And this was a fantastic, feel-good underdog story. Like it was so well done. The characters were all like fascinating and interesting. Wesley Snipes, one of my favorite actors of all time, he stole every scene.
It has a great cast all around.
Yeah. It was funny because like he kind of played like that he was like high all the time, and he might have been gay, like he was just like very flamboyant.
Yeah, very much like the Hollywood-esque, like he thinks he's bigger than he is, kind of actor director type.
And the great thing was there was a scene where like he overhears. So basically, in order to finance this film, Rudy Ray Moore has to give up all the rights to his comedy albums, which were super successful to this record company. And the Wesley Snipes character, who's like this big kind of African American actor at the time, and he's directing the film, he overhears Rudy Ray Moore arguing with these guys, and he gives away more rights to his stuff in order to get the. So the next scene, Wesley Snipes goes up to the Eddie Murphy character, Rudy Ray Moore, and you think it's going to be one of those things where he's like, "Oh, I saw the sacrifice you made, and I'm really impressed by this, and like you're a good guy and all this stuff," and it's totally not that. He's just like, "Hey man, can we get this? Can we get more money so I can do this thing?" I forget what exactly, but it was a great example of like kind of subverting your expectations. Eddie Murphy stole every scene. Not Eddie Murphy.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes stole every scene he was in this movie. But the great thing was this felt like old school Eddie Murphy.
It was.
It wasn't Norbert Eddie Murphy. No. It wasn't the
Daddy Daycare. Yeah, it was very much like old school, like unapologetic. It was
Beverly Hills Cop Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like he played this character so well. Really sympathetic. Really good acting on Eddie Murphy's part. Like everything about this movie was just so well done.
It was hilarious.
I feel like
very well written.
I feel like Eddie's in the middle of a
resurgence.
late resurgence because he's got this movie coming out.
He's got
they're doing
Beverly Hills 2 is coming out.
They're doing Coming to America
3.
2.
Oh, is it Coming to America? And then
he's hosting SNL.
Yep.
I think the Christmas episode for the first time ever.
Like 40 years.
He's never hosted. As far as I know,
he hasn't hosted. I thought he said.
Never.
I was watching that.
No, he hosted once.
Yeah,
he was the first cast member to host.
It was.
It must have been 35 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was right after 48 Hours came out.
So
it was. He had the Actors on Actors interview with. It was Antonio Banderas, and they were talking about that, how he hosted SNL, and then he's gonna be able to do it.
I hope he does more original work for new movies. I'm cool with the sequels to his old stuff. But I want to see more. Yeah. I want to see some fresh stuff.
The great thing about this movie was that it was funny, but it wasn't a comedy. Like it wasn't like a Bowfinger type thing.
Yeah.
Like there were humorous aspects to this movie, but it was actually like a character piece, and it really
it's an underdog story.
Well, it was an underdog story, but really focused on who Rudy Ray Moore was, the struggles that he went up against, the walls he broke through to, get his talent recognized and stuff like that. And it was absolutely fantastic. It was just like so well done on so many different levels. I don't know how historically accurate it was, but
well, see what Shadiversity has to say about this.
I don't think he's an expert in.
I'm sure there's somebody out there
70s Black history.
I actually hope Red Letter Media does a review of this film because they probably know more about the actual Rudy Ray Moore story than most people do.
Was their clothes correct?
They were pretty flamboyant. It was amazing, some of the scenes that they did. I was like, wow, man, that's crazy.
Did they really wear those kind of hats
when
they were out?
I was genuinely surprised at how good this movie was, though.
I was too. I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah, like it's a Netflix original. It's exclusive to Netflix. Those usually don't have the best.
Those are really black and white. hit and miss with those Netflix movies.
Yeah, but this one was just absolutely hit it out of the park.
Yeah, and I think these sequels that you were talking about, you want him to do more original stuff. I think the sequels that he's doing to his classic movies are probably a testing ground to see if there's people out there who are still thirsty for Eddie Murphy movies. And if they hit,
well, there'll be people in my age that are going to go watch those movies
for sure. And if they hit well enough with the new audience and bring more viewers in that are like a younger generation, then I think he might do more stuff. I'm looking forward to it. There were a ton
of cameos in this movie too.
Oh yeah,
like you had Snoop Dogg in there, you had Chris Rock.
Snoop Dogg was the DJ at the radio. That was funny. He's like, man, I'm gonna play this stuff. This is awful.
I think him and Chris Rock both played DJs, didn't they?
Oh yeah, Chris Rock was a radio DJ too. I forgot he was in it. That's right. He had a scene with him. He's like, what is your problem? He's like, I'm trying to sell your product, and you don't even know what to call it. He was pissed. That was funny. Yeah, it was a good movie, man. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and it was very unapologetic. Like, it didn't care. It was like, this is as offensive as you're ever going to get for Eddie Murphy.
Well, I mean, they didn't care about being politically correct. Yeah. This is not a woke movie.
And you know what? There was a really cool moment.
I think that's what I appreciated about it. It was just a movie. It was in your face. It was kind of ugly in some spots.
Respectful to the time it was made, you know?
There was a moment where Wesley Snipes' character, I can't remember who it was, Eddie Murphy's character or maybe somebody else, said something that it was very much like a modern idea about like being black and, you know, something about it. And I can't remember what exactly. I wish I could remember the line, but he was like, man, don't talk like that. That's stupid. And I was like, oh.
I thought one of the funniest scenes in the movie was, so Rudy Ray Moore, you know, his background is as a comedian. And in the movie that they're making, you know, there's a sex scene.
Oh yeah,
and he doesn't know how to do it because like he's like, you know, like, do I do it serious? Like, what's going on? And they decide to do it as a comedy bit, and they don't tell the director, Wesley Snipes. And so like as it's going on, like he's having sex with this girl on the bed, not really, but like. And they just make it into a comedy bit where like stuff starts falling from the ceiling,
ceiling breaks,
all this stuff, and at the end, like
they show the actual scene.
Well, no, like at the end of the sex scene, everyone's like dead quiet, and Wesley Snipes just has this horrific look on his face, and he's like, "Oh, screw it, it was funny," and everyone just starts cracking up.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
And then they showed the actual scene from the movie at the end for the end credits, and I thought that was really funny.
And they recreated it to a T.
Yeah, they did. Everything.
Even the car chase scene, everything, they took it right out of the movie. It's good stuff.
It was really funny.
Yeah, so like if you're a fan of like blaxploitation, B-movie type stuff, and it was funny because like at a certain point in this movie, Eddie Murphy takes all of his friends to go see a film, and one of them says like, let's go see Blackenstein. And like me and my girlfriend had literally like just watched the trailer for Blackenstein, the Black Frankenstein on Amazon Prime, and like she loves those terrible movies, or you know, like I had to convince her I'm not watching it, but like we saw that in the movie, we were like, Blackenstein. So like if you love that type of movie, you're gonna love this movie too. But also, if you love good character pieces, you're gonna love this movie. Like, I can't sing the praises of this film highly enough.
Yeah, it was really well done. I enjoyed the heck out of it.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. 2 salty nerd thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right, that's all of our topics for today. Did you guys have anything that you want to talk about the last second? Any ideas that came up while we were talking?
Well, I would love to talk about Watchmen and C and all types of stuff.
We never talked about C.
Well. Let's do a season recap because I can use my free trial still.
Cool.
And I can watch the whole season when it comes out, and we'll do a full comedy recap on C.
Sounds
fantastic. Every episode I'm like, it can't get any worse.
Can't get worse.
And it does.
It does.
So good.
I'm like they can't get any more ridiculous with this show, and I'm proven wrong every single time.
Even the muting of the mute color scheme that they have on the show.
I called my buddy I called my friend the other day, and he was like, "Hey, have you been watching these shows?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm watching this and that." And he's like, "I just started watching C. It's really good." I'm like, "You think it's good?"
That's who they're making the show for, man.
I'm like, okay, man, whatever you love, dude. You do you.
Like, I also like this movie called The Last Jedi. Have you seen this yet?
No.
There you go, talking about that movie again.
Yeah.
It's not to be spoken of. Ever.